Welcome to a special edition of the short Vort on Parsha Pekudei and Shabbos Hachodesh. This week we've entitled it Putin's Dvar Torah. Earlier in March, I went to the Project Inspire convention. I had some amazing speeches, including some points that I really enjoyed from Rabbi Berel Lazar, who's been the chief rabbi of Russia for more than 30 years. Earlier this year, he had several meetings with Putin, and he shared some amazing stories that have not been very public yet. And the speech was on Shabbos, so it wasn't recorded on Torah anytime yet. And it connects to Vayakel. I mean, it connects to Pekudei, because this is a unique year. It's very rare, but Vayakel and Pekudei are separated. Usually, if it's not a leap year, then Vayakel and Pekudei are combined. Last week, I gave a Dvar Torah on both of the Parshias. This week, I have the opportunity now to share about Shabbos Hachodesh, and it still connects to Parshas Pekudei, because in Perek Mem, Pasuk Beis, it says, "By Yom HaChodesh Harishon Be'echad LaChodesh Takum Es Mishkan Oel Moed." On the first day of the month, of the first month, which is Nisan, they erected the tabernacle, the tent of the meeting. And that connects to Parshas Hachodesh, because in Perek Yud Beis, Pasuk Beis, in Parshas Bo, it talks there also about the beginning of the new month, the first month of the calendar of the year. Vayom Hashem Moshe ve'Aaron be'eretz Mitzrayim limor hachodesh hazeh lachem rosh chadashim u'lachem l'chadshei hashana. That's the first mitzvah of the Torah, that Beis establishes the monthly lunar cycle in the calendar. And it's very important that the Jews that have the two Beis have the power, they establish the Yom Tovim. Shabbos is automatic every 7 days, but Yom Tov depends on when we declare the new moon, the new month. It also has another important message, and that is that the Jews are a lunar people, just like the moon waxes and wanes. We've gone through many tribulations, threats of extinction, but we've always come back. Threats of oblivion, and yet we're still here. And that is an important message for us. And when Putin spoke to Rabbi Lazar, so one time he told him, he said that, what do you think, Rabbi, is the greatest miracle of the 20th century? Excuse me. And Rabbi Lazar, no stranger to politics, is very careful when he answers certain questions like that. He doesn't want to offend anybody, especially not Putin. So he threw it back at him. He said, well, what do you think is the greatest miracle? But Putin told him, well, I think it's the fact that the Jews returned to their homeland and reestablished Hebrew as the language there. That is the greatest miracle. He said, there's been many eras, many countries, and languages such as Latin was very popular, or ancient Greek. But they're gone now. They peaked at a certain time, and then they faded to oblivion. While there's some people who can speak Latin or Old Greek, those languages are not coming back. They're not going to be used on a national basis. Putin says, rabbis, because of people like you, the rabbis who study Torah, that helped the Jews maintain their language, and it was revived. A second time, after about an hour and a half long meeting with Putin, as Rabbi Lazar was about to leave, so he was heading to the door, and Putin said to him, he says, Rabbi, what do you think is the reason why the Jews have survived throughout history? What makes them the eternal people? Once again, Rabbi Lazar shrewdly turned the question back to Putin and says, well, what do you think is the reason? So Putin said, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I think there's three factors. To me, it sounds like two, but Putin separates it into three. The first one is the Torah. The second one is the Jewish family. And the third one is the rabbis. Each of these, Torah, family, and Rabbanim, are eternal. And because of that, the Jewish people are eternal. And I think this connects to the Parshas Hachodesh, about the eternity of the Jews, the lunar Jews, the power to go wax and wane, is that with the study of the Torah, building of Jewish families, and the belief and the following of the words of the Chachamim, that is what has helped sustain and will continue to sustain us throughout the history until Bias Mashiach. Thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe.